Alrighty, let's continue our journey today. We're going to take a look at the biggest source of fresh water on our planet, but it's in the form of glaciers and icebergs that are frozen. Okay, it makes up a little over 2% of all the water on the planet, but it's about 3/4 of our fresh water. But as I pointed out, it's frozen. Now here's some interesting things I want to bring to your attention. A lot of folks seem to think that icebergs are the result of the ocean freezing. It's not true. Icebergs are actually fresh water, as we just said. They don't result from ocean water freezing. When ocean water freezes, it's called sea ice. Okay? And it's a mixture of it's ocean water, so it's got the salt and the water in it, and it gets cold enough that it freezes. And so that ice, that sea ice, has both the water and the salt all together frozen. Okay? Right? Now, because of it, okay, it has this stuff called brine in it, which is salty water that's trapped in there. And some of that can be forced back into the sea. Okay, and so sea ice a lot of times isn't as salty as the ocean itself, but the saltiness, right, that salt is still in there. And the salinity, remember we were talking about salinity, the salinity of ice is somewhere around 1 to 10 grams of salt per kilogram of ice, so a lot less, okay, than the ocean, which is at that 35 grams per kilogram. So remember, sea ice is frozen ocean water. It's still got salt in it. Whereas an iceberg is basically a part of a glacier that is broken off and floated out into the ocean. Which kind of answers this question, where do icebergs come from? Well, they come from glaciers, right? And as you read in your textbook, glaciers actually come from the accumulation of snow that packs up year after year after year. Okay. Every winter you get new snow that falls, and it adds to the snow that's already there. The old snow that's underneath gets packed down by the new snow, and there's this thing called a firn, F-I-R-N. It's a dense, icy pack of old snow. And if you look at that picture, it kind of looks like a river, doesn't it? And glaciers actually flow. Right, that whole mass gets so heavy that it just sort of travels down the valley between the mountains. Now, if you're like me, you may have thought, well, how fast do those glaciers move? Well, typically it's around 1 meter a day, but they can get pretty speedy, about 35 meters a day. There's a glacier called the Columbia Glacier up in Alaska that was measured doing 35 meters a day back in 1999. Now, we talked about icebergs being portions of glaciers that break off. Well, that breaking off has a name. It's called calving, like the calf of a cow, right? Calving. And I've got a great video of some really impressive calving. So if you'd go watch that and then come on back, I'd appreciate it.